We're going to be sharing our screen today. Let's see. Let's get this going here today. We're going to add the stream, and here we go. We're live, and we're looking at the markets today. My name is Lan Turner. For those of you who don't know me, we'll put up a little banner here to give you a little introduction. I'm an avid trader and been working in the financial industry for almost 30 years. And we're going live today. We're going to watch the opening bell. You can see the market's taking off right now, and we're going to see if we can't do a little market analysis. And primarily, I'm just here for you guys to kind of help you get a little bit excited about the markets. And I'm going to show you a few trading strategies. We're just going to kind of follow along and see what's going on in the markets this morning and see if we can't come up with some trading plans and mostly just kind of talk together and see if you guys have questions and see if there isn't anything I can help you learn as we go. And we're going to go through here and just watch the financial markets. This is the futures market. So up here in the right hand corner, we have the mini Dow. You can see it's taken off like crazy. These are 1 minute charts. We're using the Fibonacci price bars. And up in the left hand corner, we have the S&P 500. Down in the left hand corner, we have the Russell 2000. And the bottom right corner, we have the NASDAQ 100. So this is the futures market. So this is not over in the stock market. This is being traded out of Chicago, and we can see the markets are going a little bit crazy here on the opening bell. Now, there's something I want to bring to your attention. I'm going to come over here and grab the news, and we'll just grab that and bring that over here onto the screen. And so this is the news, and this is what's going on today. Today we have, which is Monday, Dallas Fed Manufacturing comes out at 8:30, and that's 8:30 my time. It's 7:30 right now, so not for another hour. And it's not a big mover. It's not a red. So we'll see how much that actually moves the market. We may still be on live at 8:30. Maybe not. That's an hour away. So we'll have to wait and see how the markets are doing. And we'll see how these things are doing. And our goal, of course, is to make a little bit of money and follow along the markets and do a little technical analysis and just show you how I do this in the mornings. So again, my name is Lan Turner, and I appreciate you coming along for the ride. Let's just watch and see what's going on. We're going to try and just watch all four markets at this point. These are all four indexes. You can see the Russell's the one that's down there taking off like a rocket ship, and it's going crazy. The Qs are the NASDAQ down there in the bottom right. They're kind of dying while the Dow is taking off. The S&P, a little indecisive this morning so far. It looks like the Dow's the one, or the Russell is the one that's taken off to the long side. And what's funny is that all four of those markets generally trade very closely together. And as you can see, we're coming in here and going in opposite directions. So we're seeing the Dow taking off to the upside while the NASDAQ is dropping hard. Now, the NASDAQ, of course, is very heavy into the tech industry. So Apple and Amazon, Meta, those types of things, those types of big markets. And so they seem to be falling today while the Dow, which of course the Dow has those stocks in there too, starting to rise. So that's given me a little concern, but the Russell taking off like crazy. And you're saying, why aren't you trading? Why aren't you trading? Why haven't you bought anything? Well, because we're not ready to jump into this wild and crazy market. Let me draw a dollar calculator on there and show you what's going on. We're in the mini account. So this is not the micro, this is the mini. That one bar is $250. So that would have made you $250 if you'd have bought at the bottom and sold at the top. So this is some crazy volatility right now. Over here on the S&P, that's $262. Down here on the NASDAQ, this one bar, that's $665 for that single bar in the mini. So that's some crazy volatility. That's a lot of money. So if you would have got stopped out on that, it would have been a $665 loss. So be careful with these big markets the very first thing out of the gate. Usually I like to let the first of the market settle a little bit and we just kind of watch and see what's going on. I don't usually trade the first 5, 10, even sometimes the first 15 minutes. We just kind of sit and watch and wait for the peaks to settle and wait for the valleys to settle, and those will be our kind of our channel for the day. Market whips around a lot in the morning usually, especially on a day like today where things are a little bit exciting. Last week was a pretty exciting week. And so just kind of waiting to see what happens today. We need to wait for the market to settle down, give us some good signals, not all this whipsaw before we want to start taking a chance to trade this thing. And that's one of the big problems with a lot of new traders is they like to jump in on these great, big, huge, giant markets when there's a lot of volatility, and they get their heinies handed to them. They get smashed on this crazy starting of the markets. Sometimes, it's okay to jump in on these crazy markets in the morning. Maybe a little bit more conservative if you're over in the micro accounts rather than here in the minis. They're 1/10 the size, and so maybe you could trade these wild and crazy markets first thing in the morning if you're over on the micros. But in the minis, a little bit too crazy for me. I mean, if we put our stop one price bar back on some of these bars, you can see that risk on your trade would be $650, and that's just a little bit too big. So I let this kind of settle out and settle down and not be so crazy. Of course, if you pick right and the market goes in your favor, that could be a lot of money. So from the entry here on the opening up to where it's currently trading right now, that's $445. Let's say if our goal is $500 to make $500 today, you could be almost finished with your trading within the first 5 or 6 minutes of the day. Of course, you can also take a big loss very quickly right out of the gate. And if your max loss is $500, that's the max you want to lose in one day, and you hit one stop, that could really hurt you. So again, we're just going to let this market cool down a little bit, wait for a possible reversal, wait for something to give us a better signal. Now, the signal that we're going to be trading today is there's a lot of different patterns that we can trade. There's 1, 2, 3 top formations, there's head and shoulders, there's triangles, there's wedges, there's pennants, there's all kinds of patterns. The pattern I want to trade is the ABCD pattern. So we want to see a market rally, we want to see a small pullback, and then we want to see it rally again. So a little ABCD pattern. And those are my favorite kind of patterns. They're the highest probability. And of course, I want to see if we can't pull something like that off in the markets today. So we're going to watch again, going a little bit crazy. Look at the NASDAQ, came right out of the gate, fell down 3 big bars, turned around, gone up 3 big bars. Now it's retracing, coming back 3 big bars. That's a lot of indecision there on the NASDAQ. While the Dow, the Russell, and the S&P are all kind of trucking off higher. Look at the Russell's doing really well. Again, if we come down here, the Russell's the smallest of them all. So that's $625. From this peak to this one here, that's $575. That shows that this one is smaller, but I think that that's just been a bigger run over here in the Russell. And then from this peak to here, that was $665, about the same as the Russell. So the move in the S&P wasn't quite as big. And then we're going to come down here, and then that move from peak to valley on that thing, that's $1,300. So that's a big move in there on the NASDAQ. So we got to be careful when we trade some of these markets. And if we're going to level up, we can level up just by going to a different market that's got a bigger movement in it. So here we go. We'll just sit here for a minute and watch these markets and see what's going on. If you're in the comments, we're live. We're watching the live markets. So if you're in the comments, go ahead and say hello so that I know you're out there and we can have a chat. And if you have any questions, you can let me know. So I want to make sure that I get your questions answered today. But for the most part, we're just going to be watching the market and see if there's not an opportunity in here. This market, this is dropping. The Russell's dropping. The S&P's dropping. We would expect the Dow to drop. So if we wanted to trade this thing, one way we could trade this is just look for the reversal. The S&P, the Russell and the Dow haven't dropped. The NASDAQ and the S&P have. And usually these markets follow. So if we wanted to, we could come in and we could let's put a reversal stop here on the Dow. Not ready to reverse the Russell, but we'll see. And we're just going to trail one price bar back here on the Fibonacci bars. And if this thing turns around, starts to drop, we'll take a short position off of the first bar to break a new low and just look for, just kind of see if it won't follow the example of the S&P and the NASDAQ. So just by watching all 4 of these markets, we can maybe get an idea of what the other markets are going to do. So the Dow should follow the S&P and it should follow the NASDAQ. So where those two have fallen, let's look and see if the Dow turns and falls too. So there we go. We're short the market. So the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to come in here and add an OCO. And we're going to put our target out there. Our target's $500 for the day. So if the market comes down and hits our $500 marker, that's where we'd take our profits. Of course, we're going to trail with a trailing stop. We're going to edit this. We're going to come in and I'm going to say, I'm going to trail this. And we're just going to go price bars back. And we're just going to say 1.1. And the reason I go 1.1 price bars back is because I want to give it room to move around a little bit and move and shake if it needs to. But I don't want to be in there too close. But if it just turns and immediately rips around and starts going higher again, I want to get out. So I want this thing to drop immediately, move in my favor. I don't want it to bounce around up there and turn around and go back up again. So I got a trailing stop that's going to come in. And in this case, I actually want to have this trailing stop just go to break even. So we'll just tell it to come down to my break even point. Now, this is also a buy signal because if the market rallies up, has two bars back like this, it could turn and rally up and make that ABC pattern, right? So if we're wrong, we could also come in here and drop one in here for a reversal. And that would take us long with a contract, with a single contract. Oftentimes when that happens, I like to reverse and then go long out of this point as well. So we'll see what happens here. So we got one that'll stop us out and one that'll turn us around and take us long again. But we're going to be careful because we're already kind of topping out in here. I don't want to, get ripped around here. Okay, so that reversed our position. Now we want to go long here. So we took a little bit of a haircut here. We're down $65. So at this point, what I do is I like to come in here and just say, all right, 65 bucks. Let's just get our money back on this thing. So we'll come in here and we'll just put it up there at 70 bucks, 65, 70 bucks. So we want to get our money back first of all, get back to green, and then we can work on making a profit once again. That's a little bit tight. So let's come in here. I'm going to, because that's that ABC package, right? Or ABC pattern that we're looking for. So ABC would be this first big rally and then the two green bars and then a continuation of the uptrend. But where we got the S&P is starting to fall, the NASDAQ is starting to fall. This is not good. I don't like being long and short here because this wants to giving us a buy signal to go long, but it's failing on us because these two big markets are failing. The Russell is getting ready to fail. This looks like we're going to start going through a level of chop, and that's not good. So we may just get stopped out here. Trail, price bars back, take another small loss. This thing's not rallying like we needed it to come out of there. And this is where we oftentimes will get a drop in the market now. It'll whipsaw us around and then drop hard, and we'll be either stopped out and we won't take that other short position. So if we wanted to, we could reverse our position again. Look for it to fall like the rest of these markets. I'm really bearish on this thing. I would expect that Dow to fall with the NASDAQ and the Russell. And here we are getting long positions in here. We're going to take another reversal on this thing. Take another short. Now we're down 120 bucks. Now we got to have this thing really move for us. We're going to come in, add our OCO once again. We're not going to take a big risk. We're just going to come in here and we're going to trail. Price bars back 1.1. We're getting a little, this is not good. We need it to drop like the other markets. And now it's trying to get ready to go long again. It's just whips on us back and forth. We got to just take some time out for a second and see what's going on. Now we're down 380 bucks already. Ugh. So it gave us a false signal to the upside, turned around, stopped us out, false signal to the short side. They're playing our game up here, getting ready to go long. And so this is not a good start to the day already. Come on. Okay, we're getting two bars here on the Russell. I would expect the Russell to fall back down with these other two big markets as well. Look at the Dow going in the opposite direction. Now we're all getting bullish again. Look at this thing. And now it's taken off to the long side again without us. That's called FOMO, fear of missing out. Look at that. Now we're feeling bad. We're not long on one of these markets. Probably down here on the NASDAQ. But where we got whacked here right in the beginning, I want to wait until we get another solid signal. We're going to have to just wait and see what happens. I think what will happen is this Dow is going to go up there. It's going to create a new high. It's going to fail and turn around and come back down. So let's look and see. This is one of my little tricks. We're going to come into the options tab and we're going to look. This is the 18-day options. And this is kind of these little pivot points that we're going to see up in here. Market likes to travel to these things. So we got a real strong area of resistance right there. It likes to move to these options. So, oh my goodness, look at this thing go. And this thing's taken off without us too. Makes you think we should have reversed our position one more time and tried to go long again out of this thing. These other markets are taking off. we need to decide on one of these markets and go into get us a longer term chart to look at too. Look at okay, now this is actually a signal to the downside here on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ has made a down long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. It's making a couple bars up. We should take a short position right there. That was a short position sell and I missed it. I was too slow. We could do it with a market order, but then we'd be chasing the market a little bit. Not sure I want to do that. That's a sell signal. We should be going down. Now this is the VWAP right here. So it could come down, just bounce off the VWAP and turn around and go long again. This is a clearing bar. So we'll look for the first flat top or flat bottom bar. That's what we'll be looking for to take a short or a long position in here. That Dow has started to get weak again. If that Dow breaks, it could fall at this point. Not ready to take a short position on I want to get short on the Dow again. All these other big markets falling. The S&P. This is a sell signal here on the S&P too. So we got a down signal. We got a rally. If this thing fails and goes down, we would expect that next leg down, right? So ABC like this, and then the next fall down. So that would be our ABC pattern. But if it breaks above, it gives us another long signal. We got 1 second and it stayed below. So we're still short, still bearish. It looks bullish now. It's going to switch over. If that market closes above that yellow line, that'll be bullish and we'll be long again. So there's just lots of indecision whipsaw right here. We need something clean. We need something clean. We can do right now, but wait. It's going to go up and hit that green line on the Dow. If you want to join along with me, my platform is Track and Trade Futures. You can get you a free 14-day trial over at trackandtrade.com. Go get your software, come back and join me, and I'll show you how to set it up like this, and we'll work together to set up the software so that you can watch and trade along like this. But we need an opportunity we're going to see if this thing doesn't want to reverse on us right here. Need to highlight there. There we go. Oh, that's not short 3 contracts. That's not exactly what I want to do. I had too many quantities in there. So let's come in here, add OCO. And we're just going to trail price bars back till break even 1.1. And again, our goal is $500. So if the market comes down and we have 380. So actually the first thing I want to do is I just want to get that 380 back. So we're going to work on recovery. So if we can get the market just to come down to that point right there, we'll recover our 380, be back to 0, and we can start working towards our goal once again. I like to recover losses because they make you anxious to have yourself down a little bit. And it's easier to recover the losses than it is to work towards gaining your 500 when you're already 380 down. So we're going to recover our losses, have that market come down. We just needed to come down and touch that level right there with our 3 contracts so we can recover our 380. We're going to continue to trail. I'm going to trail to break even at this point. So there we go. Come on down a little bit more. Hit my 3. If it goes back, if it starts to pull back at this point, I'm not going to let it take any money away from me anymore. I don't want to go any further down in the hole. So I watch my profit and loss. If it gets down to 0, I'll just cut it and take it take a scratch trade. But we're going to let it go and see if it won't go all the way to buy 3 until we get to our stop, which we have 22 seconds before that thing jumps one more bar. And even when it jumps one more bar, it's not going to jump to break even. So we'll have to watch because we don't want it to come back against us. We've recovered so far 232.15. We need it to come down there a little bit more. Come on, guys. Let's just recover. Almost there, and then it starts to back off. Again, if it comes back down to 0, we're going to have to cut and lose. I know there's a lot of guys out there right now yelling, cut it right now, take it, take it, take it, take it. But we're going to give it a second. I think it's going to come down. It's being choppy now. Look at the NASDAQ. It's just been going sideways on the NASDAQ. It's not been doing anything for us. We just needed to fall a little bit more here. Come on. If it comes back, we're going to exit out. 95, 110. Now there it goes, dropping again. Back to 200. That stop on ours is not a break even yet. Don't go back up there. Because I'd take that $100 only to have it turn and drop like a rock and go in our favor and would have given us the full amount. But if it breaks that high right there, oh, don't do that to us, you dumb market. Come on, look at all these other markets falling like a rock, and the market we're in hesitating, probably turn and go back up, given our Murphy's Law luck. Look at the NASDAQ falling, S&P falling. How come the Dow's not falling? There we go. Come on, follow along. You don't have to be a leader. You can be a follower. Come on, a little bit more. We just want our money back at this point. There we go. Okay. So we're back to basically green. All right. So now we're going to wait for another setup. Don't get anxious. Don't get nervous. Don't get FOMO. Don't feel like you have to jump in. Now we just have to wait for another signal. You're like, look, Lan, you should have just stayed in. 2 bars ago, you weren't saying that. You're saying, get out, get out, get out. Take your money and run. Now you're saying, oh, you should have stayed in. Okay, on the S&P, we're dropping down there and we're getting ready to bounce off of the VWAP. So we're going to wait and see. We haven't gone to the longer term time frame yet, onto the longer term chart. So we'll just wait and see what's going on here. Give it a minute. No reason to get too anxious and jump. It's still that morning bell time frame. So let's come in here, and I'm going to get rid of this green bar here. That was our goal. It went right up, almost touched it perfectly, and then it rejected off of there. So we're going to draw a horizontal line. This is our horizontal top, and we got a horizontal bottom here. So we're going to bracket the top and the bottom so far of this first, what is it, almost about 20 minutes into this market. 20 minutes into the market, and we've made 2 trades, and we're only up 25 bucks. But we recovered, so feeling a lot better about that so far. Let's get this down here. I got something to show you here while we're waiting. I got this little chart here. Says traders are always in 2 states of mind, and I think that goes with what we're seeing right now, right? Where we were in the market and then down a little bit and have to recover. We feel like we're either leaving money on the table or we're taking losses. Okay, we're always in a state of FOMO, fear of missing out. This is normal to feel this way. Welcome to trading. All right, learn to control your emotions. That's what it's all about. So let's come back and see if we can't. There we go. Back to there. Is that what we want? Yeah. So run on over there, get your track and trade software, take that trial, and then you can come along and join in with us. Now look right here. This is look at the Russell is starting to rally. The Nasdaq is starting to rally. We've been trading the Dow. The Dow's been a little bit slower to move, so we could take a long position right here. But it's also in the downtrend, so that would be a counter trend. We don't really want to do that right yet. We want it to confirm. So if this is in a downtrend and we're getting a pullback, this would actually be a sell signal, right? This would be an ABC pattern. So this would be A, B, the little pullback would be the C, and then we'd look for it to drop again and come down and test this blue line or this VWAP. But the problem I've got here is that the other two markets, all three markets down here are starting to look bullish. This is the Russell is coming down. You got the reversal, but now it's starting to come up and it's going to close above and give us that little whipsaw thing that happens, a little up down arrow, and then we're going to anticipate a continuation of the uptrend down here on the Russell. The Nasdaq looks like it came down, bottomed out, starting to rally. So I don't really want to look to take a short position off the Dow because everything else is looking pretty bullish and strong. But they could also be very easily be ABC patterns to the downside. Bouncing off the VWAP here, it could come up, create this little B pattern, fail, and start to fall back down. So we got both directions that we have to look at. This market could go either direction. It's not giving us any real, oh, I'm a bullish market today, Lan. Let's go bullish. Let's just really go. The only one that's doing that for us is the Russell. The Nasdaq actually looks bearish to me. I mean, this is making a come in here. This is almost like a little Elliott wave to the downside, right? So we're coming in here. 1, 2, 3. This would be 3 here. 4. This would be 5, and then down to make the last 5, and then we get our reversal pattern. So this may be another little rally and then another fall down to that 5th drive. That means this could be the little A, X1, 2, and we get another drive down coming in here. So if that's the case, we'd want to take a short position when it breaks below those green bars it's building. But if the bars build up above and break that yellow line and give us an up arrow, then we have to be cautious because this could be going this direction, right? Go up and make a new high this way because that seems more bullish, right? So if it did that, we would then expect a Fibonacci bow tie here and then back up like this. So that would be a pattern to the upside. So we don't have a decisive direction of this market. It's not being, well, we're strong bull. We're in a bull trend. No, we're not. In fact, on the S&P, we're in a downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. So this is making lower highs and lower lows, A, B, C. We'd actually want to be taking a short position off of this next run. So we'd go A, B, C here, up, and then we look for it to drop and break down and come back down and test that VWAP once again. So there's not any real clear decision process of where we think this market's going to go. This is making a nice trend line here on the NASDAQ like this. So what do they always say? The smart trader knows what to do when he doesn't know what to do. So there's our break. That's our short position trade right there. So we could take a short position right there. Let's watch and see if that would have been a good decision. The problem is none of the other markets are doing that. And they all generally follow really close together. And there's usually a lagger. So I like to watch the other 3 fall, or they watch the other 3 drop and then trade the lagger because it generally turns and follows. But now we got 3 rallies and this one wants to fall. So these 3 are all going up. We got the S&P going up. We got the Russell going up. We got the NASDAQ going up. And we got the Dow going down. So the smart trader, when you don't know what to do, knows what to do. And what to do right now is we just watch for a second and see what's going to happen. We got too much indecision going on. The Russell is the one that seems to be making the cleanest trends. We're getting fewer breaks, breaking those bottom trend line bars. Notice how nice and clean those bars are going up the bottom. Not a lot of breaks. They've all been doing that this direction, except for the Dow. The Dow's not. Even the Nasdaq's been okay. We had this one bar that's got a bottoming tail coming out, another bottoming tail. We only got one bar with the bottoming tail, and it didn't break the previous bar here on the Russell. The Russell's making the cleanest trends. Makes me kind of want to switch over and just concentrate on the Russell. It's 8 o'clock, so this is the 30-minute bell. So where have we got a top and a bottom on the 30-minute bell? So we got no decisive trend on any of these markets. We got a top and a bottom barrier. I'm going to call this the top barrier. This is the bottom barrier. So that's our channel on the Russell, and it's breaking higher out of it right now. So the 30-minute bell is telling us this is the high, this is the low. Do you have any decisive trend? No. This thing is coming down more decisive to the short side than the long side, than anything. But we got a retracement. We got this bar that's coming in here. We got this high that it's going to test against right here. And we had another nice little trend bottoming tails here. You can see that little trend line. Always remember there's one up for every down. That's basically what we look for. So we got up, down, up. Next one is going to be down. So we're going to look for a down. And this looks like it's coming in right here. We're getting down here, down here. So the Nasdaq is starting to fall. The S&P is starting to fall. The Dow is leading the way in the fall. The laggard would be the Russell. So the one we would look to take short would be the Russell. All three of the others are falling, and they are in downtrends. Lower highs, lower lows, higher highs, and higher lows. So this is definitely in a downtrend. And we got this this downtrend coming in here. I'm going to draw it from there to there. That's a broadening pattern, which is the worst pattern in the world. So this bar right here, we're going to take that short. I didn't want to go in with 3 though. I want to change that back out. We're going to go with 1. We're going to start with 1. That way, if that thing fails, oh, look, it's failing here. So that's why you don't just hit a market order and say, I'm just going to get in short right now. Looks good to me. And we want to use these trailing stops, and when we want to break previous highs or break previous lows. I'm not happy with that taking a short right now either, because now look, the S&P is getting ready to go long once again. The Nasdaq's going long once again. I would say we'd go in on the Dow, but it's starting to die. There's not enough strength. I don't see it taking off and going really strong for us. It's just wobbling. So if we come in here, and I got another indicator I want to look at, we're going to look at the DMI, which is telling us the strength. This is a strength indicator, and what it does, it tells you how strong the market is. And generally speaking, as long as it's above 20, we can go ahead and take trades. It means there's enough volatility that the market should push through and make some trends. But you can see it's on the downtrend. It's dropping. It means it's losing momentum. So this is a strong momentum indicator of how strong the market is. Now, down doesn't mean, when the line goes down in the DMI, doesn't mean that the market's going to fall. It means that the market is weakening. So you can have a strong downtrend and the DMI will be going up, because it's just telling you how strong the momentum is. All right, look at the Dow now is continuing to fall down those red bars. It's like, okay, Lan, why aren't you short? Why didn't you get short when that went from green to red? That first bar, you should have taken a short. Too much conflicting information. So just wait and see what's going to happen here. Okay, so the Russell's starting to fall, which is a little bit more of what I expected. So we could take a short on the Russell. Again, we come in here, drop a Russell in there. Okay, we're short 1. I'm going to come in here. Let's come in here and just go into the Russell. We're going to go to the Russell, mini Russell. Mini Russell. Where did you go, mini Russell? Mini Russell. All right. So on the mini Russell, oh, that's not what I wanted. There's what I wanted right there. Okay, so we're looking for this thing to fall. And of course, it doesn't want to. Now there's a whole bunch of liquidity right around this area where those blue lights are. A lot of trailing stops coming in for the guys going long on the longer term time frame. So we're coming in a little bit early for the short side because that blue light needs to intercept for the downside. So we're coming in a little early. So this is a little bit of a dangerous place to be taking a short position. We don't want to be taking a big risk here. That's why I only went in with one contract. So we need it to fall. And if it goes up and breaks a previous high again, starts going up, why would you stay in that? We need it to fall. So we're going to come in here. We're going to add the OCO in here again. And actually, I'm not going to add an OCO. I'm going to come in here and go to 3. Actually, I don't want to take a long position here. I don't want to take a reversal position here. But I'll show you how that's done. We put a reversal in there. If it breaks higher and starts to rally once again, we would close out the short and go long. But we don't want to do that. We want to stay short. There we go. So turn off the trail for a second here. We just sit with our stop right there. Okay, now we're kind of flying blind. We can't see the other 3 markets. We can't see the Dow. We can't see the NASDAQ. Good idea if you have multiple monitors is to have those off so you can watch those on another screen. But we want to see if this market's not going to fall for us. But it could also be an ABC to the upside because we're still in the uptrend. See, we got an up arrow on this is the average true range. Problem is getting choppy in here. And I hate this where it starts to get choppy. It doesn't have any decision. It just gets very indecisive. The volume's starting to fall. We had a couple of big red bars, which is positive to the downside. If you get big red bars of volume when the market's coming down, that's an increase. But it doesn't. It's just being stupid and indecisive right now. It looks like it's going to stop us out again. And then we're going to have to go back into recovery mode and recover our losses again. Come on. Just hang tight here for a second. Boy, 1, 2, 3 bars indecision. 3 bars. Oftentimes, if you get into the market and it just goes indecisive for 3 bars, you just get out because it's just not going. It needs to immediately just move in your favor. So if this doesn't immediately go long right here, we'll cut it because we're getting ready to go short off of this blue light over here on the 2-minute chart. This is our longer term trend. So there's not much upside potential right here. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to add my OCO. And we're down $65. So we're going to come in here and just see if we can't recover that quick. Just want it to pop up there. But I'm actually more bearish, but not right now. I see that bearish turn not coming until those blue lights intercept. So we're going to get a little bit of indecision in here. This is where you get caught in the whipsaw. Doesn't want to go up, doesn't want to go down. We've lost all of our momentum. Where'd it go? Where'd all the traders go? Come on, guys. Nothing, nothing. We're not getting anything out of it. Gonna put us back in the hole once again. We need something to happen here. Oh, all right. That's what it says it wants to do. I want you to turn and go back up and stop us out that direction. But at this point, we're down 140, so we need to put our recovery in here. See if we just can't get that money back. I like to work towards recovery because it's a psychological thing for me. I can always take another trade, but if I'm losing money, then I start doing stupid things. So just get back to zero again, and then we can reassess and start over. Once you get down, it gets frustrating trying to go for the big win, and then you give up the base hit. So we just want a base hit at this point to bring us back to green. Come on. There we go. All right. Back and forth, back and forth. All right. Look what we got going over here. This is coming in. Looks like it wants to hit this liquidity down here at the blue light. So that's where there's going to be a whole bunch of orders sitting. So the market wants to fill orders. It's going to come down and touch those blue lights and fill those orders. And then oftentimes it'll come down, hit those blue lights, and bounce. Let's go back over and look at the four markets again. Let's bring them up into 4 mode. There we go. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit. Oh, look at all the indecision. So that's the Dow, and the DMI is dropping like a rock, which is not good. We're losing all of our momentum. This is the broadening pattern. This looks like it wants to bounce off of that upper area of resistance and fall, but how far is it going to fall? Here on the S&P, we got a line of support right here. Okay, the Russell, that's where we recovered ourselves off of that whipsaw top. Now it's starting to fall. How far is it going to fall? Are we going to get an ABC pattern off of that thing? Look at the Dow, how awful that is. Ugly little choppy market. But we're getting our one down for every up. Down, up, down, up. Here's coming in the next down. How far is it going to go? Or is it going to be a reversal and start to go back up again? Look at all this choppy stuff. This is what kills you. This is an account killer right here. That stuff right there, that's what destroys accounts. You keep trying to go in and out of that thing, trying to get a position. Death. That's death to your account right there. So that leads me to believe that we're struggling right now. All right, let's come back over here. Let's see what else we got. Subscribe and ring the bell. I'm going to be doing more of these live shows, and so it'd be nice to have you come along with me and meet me here in the mornings. And we'll do a little bit more of this type of trading. We'll do market analysis, and you can get your software and follow along. And these are going to be educational classes here in the morning, just to answer your questions, any questions that's come along, and let you come in and see what's going on and happening, and we'll work together and answer any questions. So if you have any questions, put them up here in the chat, and I'll answer your questions, and we'll go look at other markets. We'll look mostly, I like to look at the 4 indexes here in the futures market, but we'll also do some other classes where we'll go do some stock market analysis. We'll look at stocks. We'll also look at crude oil and corn and wheat and soybeans. We'll have some visitors in here, some guests come and speak with us. We're going to do all kinds of fun things here in the live session. Plus, we'll have some great video education. Go look through the videos that we've got that we've posted in the past and things that you can look at and get some education around these day trading markets. And then, of course, we're going to go and do some stock market trading as well. So I'd just love to have you with me and meet me here in the mornings, and we'll look at these markets together. We've tried to catch a little bit of a trend here a couple of times, but recovered our trades. And at this point, we're, back to scratch trade, back to break even. Didn't have any luck, no joy on this market this morning. We didn't catch the big trend in the morning because it was a little bit too aggressive for us, and then none of the other markets paid off for us. So I'm going to let you go at this point. We'll meet you here next time. Again, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you'll notice when I go. So it'll, excuse me, so that the system will let you know when we're going live. It'll send you a notice that we're going live, but you got to hit the little bell. You won't know we're going live. But we're going to try and go live in the mornings to catch the morning bell and watch the morning bell. But we'll stay vigilant on this market. But we'll let you go. Catch you next time.